Welcome to Mad Elf Madness. What's up, Doug?
What's going on, Greg?
This is our annual, annual visit to one of our favorite beers, Mad Elf from Troegs Brewing Company. This is their, I always get this effed up, right? This is their ale brewed with honey and cherries.
Mm-hmm.
But, so this is their Christmas seasonal.
Yeah.
Troegs, let me share, is a fantastic brewery in Hershey, Pennsylvania. They're literally right under the roller coaster there. I visited the last time I saw Doug, my last beer trip, visited Troegs. So fantastic brewery, nice inside. The beers are solid. The store's nice. The whole place is wonderful. Yes. But this is a polarizing beer, Doug. This is one of these beers that people either really love or really hate. There's really kind of no in between. I actually think I'm the in between, but we'll see. So we have some of our favorite, some people that we've had on the show a couple times, both of them, and they're very, very opinionated about this beer. And so what's going on over there already?
The reason I love this is my favorite Christmas/holiday beer.
Because, so that's Mad Elf, just to make sure.
Yep, Mad Elf is my favorite.
2020 Mad Elf?
Yes, this is a 2020 Mad Elf. This is the fresh one. All the honey, the cherry is not, it's there, but it's not like the honey is more pronounced than the cherry is. It's smooth. It does not drink like 12% ABV. And yeah.
So I'm going to pour mine and bring on our guests. Our first guest is our friend. We know him from Dad 2.0. We actually saw him this year in person.
Yes, we did.
So
it seems like 8 years ago, but it was this year.
it literally seems like when you say Dad 2, to me it's like 2019. Mm-hmm. It just feels like a century away. But Kevin McKeever, he's a big baseball fan. He's a writer. Although I'm not a baseball fan, I do admire his dedication to the sport and his love of the sport, and like how he likes to jump around and go to different stadiums. It's probably not working well now. And I believe when we talked to him, Doug, we asked him about how he's doing lockdown. So we're going to bring him on. He also works with City Dads, I believe, still. A whole bunch of other shit Kevin does. So we'll let Kevin.
Man of many talents.
Right. What's up, Kevin?
How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Good, man. Doing great. How you been?
I've been doing all right. As I mentioned last time I was on back in like August, I moved. A couple weeks after I was on the show, I moved in the middle of September from southern Connecticut up to northern Massachusetts. So I'm here in my new house in Andover, which we just moved into 2 weeks ago, and you can see there's boxes still around.
You moved out of state. You moved out of state during the pandemic.
I moved out of state during a pandemic. Yes.
You know what?
It was not a smart move.
Doug, that could be a subject for just a whole nother.
Yeah, well, it was my wife got a new job, and it was up here. They let her work out remotely for a couple of months, but she needed to be up here to do everything. So so we moved in September. We were in temporary housing outside of Boston for 2 months because the housing market up here was insane. It took us 3 tries to get a house. We got beat out of one house. We bid $80,000 over the asking price, and we got beat by somebody who bid $100,000 over the asking price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's just how crazy it was.
Well, damn. All right, so you're ready for a big alcohol per volume beer?
I've been looking forward to this since last year.
Oh, yes.
If you recall, this quickly my backstory. I am not a fan because I hate cherry. The hit cherry flavor I generally really hate. It reminds me of cough syrup as a kid. And the first time, because I kept seeing all you guys mention about how great how much you loved it, and I picked up a 6-pack. I didn't read the label very closely when I picked up the 6-pack, and I just like did a total spit take the first time I had it. Pawned it off on other people and whatnot. But last year when I tried it, I don't know if it was the way they brewed it last year. It did not have as much cherry, I thought, last year. So I got through actually most of it. So my expectations are a little higher this year than they were last year for it.
Oh man.
All right. Well, I had my first sip while Kevin was talking. I will give a comment in a bit, but let's bring on our last roundtable guest here. My friend Matt Clark, another person that I saw the last time I was road tripping out by you, Doug. Last time I saw you, I saw Matt. No,
that was the year before.
See, again,
it's all runs together, man. Time's a flat circle.
Right. So there's no way I'm going to remember Matt's podcast, but he's going to tell us about it because that's a crazy name. Doug, you laughing, but do you remember that shit?
Like super, and then there's like 6 words after it, and I don't know any of it.
Right.
I listened to it. That's the thing. I listened to it, and I just don't even know the name.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, I listened to it, and then I just can't even, like, when I recommend it, I just usually send links, or I just say, hey, check this link, because I'm going to even fuck up the title, writing it down. So we're going to let Matt jump on. But Matt's a gamer. Matt's a beer guy. As I said, we were when I went to Philly to do the beer run, Matt was there. So we had a really good time. Matt knows his beer, his games. So we're going to bring him on right now. He knows a little bit about NFL too, but we won't even, maybe a little bit of a sore subject to go there.
Man, yeah. Let's not make this a podcast about the Bears. Please, for the love of God, not about the Bears.
Hey, I'm a Bears fan. You have nothing to complain about.
I'm a Jaguars fan. All of you be quiet.
Well, yeah. Well, there's one year that a Browns fan could talk, and I'm not even going to. But Matt, let's have a conversation about tell everybody who you are, tell everybody your podcast, and then a little bit of history with the Matt Elf.
Okay. So the podcast that I'm on is Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go. We do any sort of retro to new school reviews. One of our next games that we're going to be having come out is going to be Cuphead, which is like a notoriously tough and challenging game. We're all trying to fight through it. We also do like in between reviews, we do like a variety hour type thing. Usually it ends up being like 45 minutes after cuts. But yeah, my history with Mad Elf, as the local PA guy, I hate it. I'm not a huge fan. I think I said this on last year's stream that we did. There is a really good beer and then cherry flavored cough drops dropped into it. That's kind of how I feel about this beer in general.
Well, what do you mean by that? How do you know that? Is there a variant or something?
Yeah, so there's the Naked Elf, which I've had before on tap, and it's kind of more like a Belgian-y style strong ale without the cherry in it, and that is actually very palatable and very well made. And I know that that's the base beer for this before they add, the cherries to it, but the cherries and honey just too much like a cough drop to me. I don't know. I can't get over it. But
let's just yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Just like last year, I intend to finish the whole thing. But
Trooper.
Yeah.
I intend to finish the whole thing.
Yep.
You hear that, Kevin? Can you feel those emotions?
Oh yes, definitely. I heard it.
Well, let's
really does smell a lot more honey. I smell a lot more honey this year than cherry.
Yeah, I had a couple of sips here, and
oh, there's the cough syrup.
No.
suckered me into it with the honey.
It's something I don't know. There's something just not. Again, I'm not on these guys. I'm not as far as these guys are as far as disliking it. I'm really trying. It's really hard for me to find something I like though when it does.
You are picky.
It's a little too sweet. It's a little. I'm picky. Is that what I heard?
I'm being silly.
Are you guys getting a little bit of like alcohol at the end there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 11 though. It drinks big.
I don't think this is even as good as it was last year. I feel like this is worse somehow.
In what way? Like, is it? See, I'm with Doug. Like, it's not really the sherry that's really annoying me. Maybe it's the combination or something. Something for me personally is not right.
I know it always tastes like cough syrup, but it actually kind of has a medicinal flavor this year.
Yes.
You think that, Doug?
I thought the cherry is actually less this year, but
yeah, and that's what I'm feeling.
I thought the honey was way more forward this year, but
I think so too. I think I taste the honey a little bit more, but like I don't know. Like, have you ever been like drinking your morning coffee and then you like walk into a brewery and the smell of like yeast hits you real hard? Mm-hmm. Like the yeasty like brewery smell. Mm-hmm. I get that in the sip. The second it gets in my mouth, I get that whole like rush of like the yeasty kind of like flavor. Mm-hmm. And it's a really odd. It wasn't like that last year. Last year it tasted more like a Belgian. This doesn't taste like a Belgian to me. This is off a little bit.
I don't remember. Was it real? Is it normally not very carbonated?
I smell the coffee.
No, it's never. Okay, it's never very carbonated.
Okay. Mm-mm. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, last year I was surprised. I didn't think it was as bad as it was the first time I had it. Now, the first time I had it could have been a bit of a surprise because I wasn't expecting cherry when I did it. It tastes really syrupy. Maybe that's all the excess honey that I'm getting in it this year.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it definitely is not as like when you pour it, you get almost no head. Like you get a little bit, and then it dissipates really fast.
Yeah, right. There's like nothing on that.
Yeah, right. But I do see what you're saying, Matt, about getting that sort of yeasty flavor right on the front, whereas last year that wasn't like that. Every year it's a bit different. Some years it's way more cherry forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the pandemic Madoff.
Maybe they were mad when they made it. I don't know.
Who knows?
2020, the year of the worst Mad Elf.
Tim, I might have one for you. My cheers to my friend Matt Clark here, who enabled me to have it. I don't get Troegs in distribution, so and Matt also sent me some other goodies that I want to get into tonight. Ooh, I don't know.
Speaking of other goodies, I remember before we had talked about possibly doing the mix, trying to find a chocolate to go with this.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, one of the goodies that I sent you, let's get into it just a little bit, is this right here. It's clay. It's a Lush Nitro Chocolate Vanilla Stout from Tired Hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is going to be the chocolate that I drown out the rest of this Mad Elf with. Yeah, you got one too, buddy.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
I was thinking the double chocolate stout from Young's would be good with that too, but
yeah, it definitely would be. I mean, I grabbed these. These are supposed to be nitro, so I'm actually only going to put half in when we do the mix, and I'm going to drink the other half on the podcast. So these are the stream. So these are going to be my 2 beers.
So Matt touched on it. I don't know. I wasn't listening, even though I was right here. Did you talk about does Doug want to talk about the Troegs beer that we were talking about that goes with the Mad Elf?
Yeah, it was a different thing. It was just called a chocolate stout last year, and this year they named it cacao.
Oh, okay.
So it's different. It's in that case, that 12-pack they sell, but that 12-pack is like $23.
Yeah,
it's expensive. And you get remember, Greg, I sent you the Blizzard of hops. They put that in there.
Yep.
and you didn't care for that one too much.
So then, what? So then you're supposed to mix them, or how does this work?
Well, the cacao and the Mad Elf, you mix half and half.
Oh, okay.
That's how they talk about it. So basically, what Matt's doing, where he's saying he's going to mix half, that's perfect. That's what they recommend with the other beer. So why not?
Doug, have you done this personally?
Yes. And it tastes like a rich black forest cake.
Oh, so the stout part kind of and the chocolate overwhelms the cherry, but the cherry's still kind of hanging out.
Yeah, in that particular one. Now I have no idea how Matt's is going to be but with the nitro stuff, I'm wondering if that will really kind of help balance that shit out.
Now, yeah, a bunch of people were talking about showing up tonight and talking about Mad Elf and how they enthusiastically like it. I haven't seen any in the comments yet, but you guys, come on, let's go because Doug is outnumbered here.
I like Chris Carlton's comment that the brewery got bought by Robitussin.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you guys are absolutely getting. Kevin already said Kevin is getting the cough drop. Kind of not usually a good thing when you say a beer tastes like cough medicine. So that's not a good thing. But are you getting that same kind of effect there, Matt?
Yeah, I mean that kind of ties into that weird like yeasty kind of taste right off the bat to me. It doesn't smell. I'm actually not getting much on the nose of this.
I'm getting a lot of. This is where I'm getting the Belgian.
Yeah. Like that's
Belgian in this is where I'm getting it.
Yeah, but Belgians aren't super strong on the nose. They're actually like pretty subtle. So you're getting the kind of like it's just a weird polar opposite thing. I like my beer to smell strong if it is going to have a strong taste, whereas something like this, I can answer Dan Fisher's stuff. They just take a giant bag of cough drops, like the honey cherry cough drops, and just dump them in to the mash tun.
Smith Brothers, and then maybe little Halls.
Yeah, just some Halls cherry, just boom. Like that meme where you dump the salt in.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if somebody has actually made like a cough syrup beer.
I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't.
I intentionally made it a cough syrup. Like I'm going to put cough syrup in beer and see what this is like.
Mm-hmm. So, Daniel,
have we reached the point where what stuff haven't they put into beer these days? Because it's like every time I walk in, there's some new crazy thing that someone's doing with it.
True.
Yeah, didn't somebody post in a group of ketchup beer?
Oh, God.
Was that you, Doug?
No, I don't know who that was, but that is fucking gross.
There was like a Flaming Hot Cheetos that I saw. Flaming Hot Cheetos beer and stuff like that. Like
dill pickle beer? No, thanks.
Yeah.
I like that shit when I'm able to go to the bar and have a taste and not have to pay because I'm not paying anything for that. I refuse.
Daniel Fisher nailed it. Ludens. I think that's what the secret.
Oh,
could be. Little Ricola action.
Mm-hmm.
And Logan, plenty of people make cough syrup beers. What?
They're not intentionally cough syrup beers.
They're just accidental, like this one.
So I don't know. So is this time that because I'm only gonna drink. This is the rest of my Mad Elf. So what am I supposed to do, Doug? I'm supposed to pour this right into it.
Yeah, half and half. So just you don't have to. Not a cocktail. You don't have to shake it or mix it. It just.
All right, because I'm apprehensive about ruining this beer by putting Mad Elf in it.
Only put half.
Just put half.
Only do half. Only do half.
Well, Matt, I know, but like, how often do I get tired hands in my hands?
I mean, I sent you the care package that had 3 different tired hands beers.
I got you. It's just I don't know, man. This is tired hands. I don't want to. All right. Well, I think that's where we're at, Doug. You have some interesting selections tonight. I don't know where your second beer is, but like Matt, my second beer is going to be pouring this in here once I get down to half. Kevin, you
I
got
poured half, and then
you got a chocolate stout with you, Kevin?
I'm sorry, say what?
Do you have a chocolate stout, or what is your?
No, I did not. Yeah,
You knew.
I have a chocolate, but I've got a selection of things.
I was gonna say because you knew coming here, you're gonna need a palate cleanser for the Mad Elf.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I got this especially for tonight. The Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Peppermint Porter. Now I've had the Kentucky Bourbon Barrel, some of them before. Like the vanilla cream, I think is really good.
That is good. I've had that. That's yummy.
Yeah. I've never had a mint flavored beer. So this guy, and I know I've seen him a couple times, and I know there have been a couple of them. So I was intrigued just for tonight because I'm like,
time for the weird stuff.
Will completely clear my palate of the cherry flavor.
Yeah, well, it's time to get rid of the cherry.
Yeah.
Let's see how this works.
And I'm in the minority of this beer tonight. Oof.
Ooh, okay.
I'd add that. Look how nice that is.
All right. Oh, look at the nitro giving it some
body, baby.
Yeah. All right. Man, okay, so I'm still smelling that damn Belgian yeast from the It's not bad. It's just I don't know. Mad Elf's interesting. Let's see here.
I got my mix going here.
You didn't quite get as much head on it as Greg did, but
Better.
Is it because of the tired hands?
Yeah.
Is it just something covers up the taste of the Mad Elf?
It's almost that red velvet, or what did you say? The
Black Forest cake is what.
Black Forest, where it's
that rich chocolate with the cherries.
Rich chocolate with the cherries and the honey. It's a little sweet at the end there. I don't know about this beer normally, Matt, so I can't really speak to that yet, but I'm gonna get to that. Better.
Yeah, much better. This is really good. I don't think I added too much. I tried to do about 6 because I think I had about 6 left in my Mad Elf because I went half and half on that. But this is a 16 ounce, so I kind of had to like make the portions up as I went. It definitely tastes better. I could definitely see how people like trying to mix the chocolate with it. But like in terms of like flavors, the tired hands is just kicking the shit out of the Mad Elf. Okay, I can barely taste the original Mad Elf here. And again, my mix is like pretty good. This is a 16 ounce glass, so 8, like
a little at the end, a little.
Yep.
Mad Elf comes out at the little at the end, like, yeah, I'm still here, motherfuckers.
What are you saying, Kevin? Kevin, what were you saying?
Oh, I was going to say, so you're not getting any of the cherry flavor at all that you were getting in the Mad Elf?
At the end, only
at the end.
Yep.
Very, very little.
Right.
Well, I opened the peppermint porter, and I got to say, it smells like these mints, the little green rectangular things. Yeah.
Well, wait. So did you mix that with the Mad Elf, or you just took?
I dumped it out.
Okay. Cool. Need to make sure.
I'll put it in a sealed Tupperware container and send it to you, Doug.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have made a good mix anyway. So.
No, I don't think so.
It sounds horrifying. Yeah, tired hands greater than Mad Elf. Shocker. Right. It's not.
Mexico.
Yeah.
It's not. Well, those breweries are 2 different breweries. They're almost like apples and oranges, to be honest with you. So even the comparison's kind of. He knows it too. He's just being an ass. Anyway.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I'm gonna go round 2.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
you're aged, Mad Elf. Ta-da!
Wait, what the hell's going on?
This is a year-aged Mad Elf.
Oh.
Okay. Bigger bottle?
What?
Is that a bigger bottle?
No.
Oh, is this the way you're holding up to
The one after this will be a bigger bottle.
The
So.
Mad Crew, okay.
Kevin McKeever, that sounds terrible.
What does the peppermint porter? The peppermint porter, it's like I said, it smells. It really smells like those Andes mints. You don't get the mint quite as much when you taste it.
And Doug?
Interesting. I actually got, because of the celery, I got a little bit more head
What
to
did I have there, man? Kevin, real quick.
Oh, I mean, I'm not really getting the bourbon barrel, the bourbon edge to it at all. The mint is a lot more subtle when you taste it as opposed to when you smell it, but it's very drinkable. I mean, I'm surprised. Like I said, I've seen mint beers before, and I've never had any inclination to try one. But for tonight, I thought I'd give it a shot.
And Doug?
Very yeasty on the nose. You know, that, like you were talking about earlier, Matt, with just getting that yeast flavor, but like on the nose, it's really yeasty, and it definitely is more medicinal after a year. So
I thought this was supposed to be less medicinal when it ages.
No.
What about that cherry flavor that we all are?
Well, the cherry flavor, what's funny is, remember I said the honey flavor was really forward in this year's? In this one, after it ages for a year, is way more cherry up front. So, yeah.
Okay.
So this is not one any of you would probably enjoy.
Now, this is only this Tired Hands wonderfulness. Look at that. The nitro. Man. I want to say, Matt, I missed this brewery, but I missed this brewery, if we all remember. I never made it there, so I can't even say I missed this brewery. I mean, I can say it, but in that way, I guess, right? But I don't miss the brewery because I was never there, even though I feel like I missed the brewery, even though does that make
Well, we went to the beer garden.
Yes, but that wasn't the brewery, no.
No, it wasn't. It was because it's outside of Philly, and we were kind of doing mostly a Philly thing.
Right, and it wasn't. Listen, by no means was it Matt Clark fault that I missed it, because Matt Clark was telling me that I needed to go and skip the rest of my trip. So,
yep.
He literally told me that, like, you should skip the rest of your trip and just go to Tired Hands, dude. Like, I have respect for all the breweries that you're trying to get to, and I'm like, I can't just do the one. So, again, thank you, man, for at least bringing this to. When you said you had some goodies, I was like, I didn't get my hopes up that it was Tired Hands, but I was like, there better be some fucking Tired Hands here if he's going to teach. So, cheers, brother.
Where's Tired Hands located?
Cheers. What's that?
Where's Tired Hands located?
Ardmore, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yep.
Geez.
Ardmore. One and only. They don't really distribute it all. Like, it's just, and it's all like, I don't know. It's like the 5-star restaurant of breweries where they're always like trying something new and weird. Like, it's very, very interesting. They made a health drink beer that I tried. It's like has like turmeric, and it's like just a blended ale, and it tastes like a kombucha with like turmeric and like a bunch of other stuff in it, but it's a strong ale as well. Like, it's really, they do the craziest stuff that you can think of with beer that isn't, we're gonna put flaming hot Cheetos in a beer.
They do stuff that's still recognizable as beer.
Yes.
Doug, what was that one Southern Tier beer that you sent me that I was ranting and raving about? Hot cocoa, or what was that? It
was a nitro hot cocoa stout.
Right. That stuff
was like unbelievable.
This blows that shit away.
That's saying something, because that's
no, I'm serious. I'm not even joking. This is amazing. It's amazing. It's like, it has a vanilla, like it has a chocolate vanilla, and you guys know, man, vanilla can be very, very overpowering. It can be very, very, like, you can just take the blah out of a good beer. I mean, put the blah in a good beer. They did this amazing. This is great. I can sip on this all day. Man.
And it's a time of year for that kind of beer where you're just kind of sitting out, you're just sitting there, just sipping.
Yes, I'm having a moment with this stout. Absolutely.
You got the camera, Craig, for a few minutes?
Yeah.
We all just can't see his other hand.
Oh, I wouldn't tube in or be like that. Would I do? Anyway, so we've been through our second beers, and I'm sorry, guys. I usually have a video. I don't have any video. Actually, I have one. Is this even? I have a video. You guys want to see a crazy? You want to see a meltdown?
Show us.
All right. This is one I think everybody. I don't know. It was making a lot of noise today. On the.
Oh no.
This thing, you guys see this?
Nah.
Tell me that shutting down, which is the easiest answer, is necessarily the only answer.
Rick, I just as a public health and public service announcement for the audience, the difference between a big box retailer, hold on, the difference between a big box retailer, hold on, the difference between a big box retailer and a restaurant, or frankly even a shop.
Oh. Also, that guy's posing stuff is awesome. Looks like he's into Buffalo stamps. That's going back a ways, folks.
It's unbelievable. I disagree. You're wearing that. Your thoughts. I disagree. Science. I'm sorry. It's science. If you're wearing that, it's a different story.
500 people in a Lowe's aren't any safer than 150 people in a restaurant that holds 600. I don't believe it. Sorry. Don't believe it. And I live in an area where there's a lot of restaurants that have fought back and they don't have any problems. And they're open.
Okay, you don't have to believe it, but let me just say this. You're doing a disservice to the viewer because the viewers need to understand it. Wait, the viewer. You are.
You are.
No, you are.
I'd like to keep our viewers as healthy as humanly possible. The idea of packing people in a restaurant.
I think our viewers are smart enough to make decisions on their own. Really different things. I'm much smarter.
They're different things.
All the viewers like some people do.
Guy's a fucking clown.
Well, I'm
That's
pretty
why we're doomed. That right there.
I'm pretty sure the viewers aren't as smart as he thinks they are. Otherwise, I don't think we would be where we are in this pandemic, but maybe I'm wrong. So the flip out to even getting to like network TV, it's great. What's going on, Matt?
I just need to show that the Mad Elf is gone, and I am now going to enjoy a PA Classic.
Oh,
You did enjoy a PA Classic already.
what was that?
Well, a little bit. I poured some of the beer in.
So Troegs is taking a couple of hits here tonight, but can we go around and talk about a beer that we like from Troegs, Doug?
A beer besides Mad Elf?
Yeah.
So you're talking holiday ales or Christmas beers or
Anything from Troegs Brewing out of Hershey, Pennsylvania?
Oh, Troegs makes a lot of excellent stuff. Their Troganator is awesome.
Good.
Which style is that again?
Is that their Doppel?
The Doppelbock.
Yeah, their Doppelbock is excellent.
So they make a good Doppelbock.
Oh, it's superb. It's really good, and that's not a style you see a lot of people make.
Mm-hmm. Right.
A lot of people like their IPAs. I am obviously that's a hit or miss for me. Yeah,
I like was it Nugget Nectar?
Yeah, that's their big one.
Yeah, that I really like. They have another big IPA. Nimble Giant.
Nimble Giant is
Nimble Giant and Nugget Nectar are both really good.
Yeah, I think that's a double IPA if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you're right. Gosh, what else? With the exception of Mad Elf, I've had very few beers from Troegs that I didn't like. Yeah, Blizzard of Hops is okay.
Blizzard of Hops is okay. Right, I'm with you. I remember that.
Yeah, they make Java Head Stout and they make something called Jovial, which I don't know if you had a chance to have Jovial. Jovial would be something you probably could get. it's a corked like 12-ounce bottle, but it's awesome. So
Jovial's pretty good. Perpetual's okay. Perpetual, what I like about that is like it's kind of geared more towards the kind of like piney IPA, like West Coast style IPA.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed those when I was like first getting into craft. It's like a Dogfish Head 60-minute. Like it's the same style of beer where it's like for the newbie craft person, like I think Perpetual is like a great beer to like get into craft beer and like really, because they like it's, you know, mass distro, and then like there's like the craft beer staples that are what branch you to that spot, and then like craft beer just takes the top off. Perpetual in there, especially around here in PA, like Perpetual is one of those staples that can get you into craft beer, and it's very approachable. You can find it everywhere. I think Perpetual is probably just like one of those like really, really solid West Coast IPA. If I'm at a bar that doesn't really have a ton of craft beer, you'll still find Perpetual usually, and I'll just grab that.
Yeah, Perpetual reminds me a bit of, as far as like drinkability, kind of like the Racist All Day IPA.
Oh yeah, Founders All Day IPA. Yep. Perpetual is okay. I believe this is our friend Alex Mustigo.
It is.
Nugget Nectar has a nostalgia factor for me. Nibble Giant is solid. Daniel likes Nugget Nectar, Troganator. Hop Cyclone. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, that's not a one they put a whole lot out of, and the Scratch series is kind of their where they don't distribute a lot. It's just basically like stuff they've tried, and they're just kind of throwing it out to see if it sticks.
Right.
Yeah, they tend to throw it into as it's like into the variety pack, the seasonal variety packs. There tends to be one Scratch.
Like Scratch 419 or whatever they'll throw in. They'll just name it.
I mean, they're odd things. They're always kind of odd things. There'll be like, you know, like a cranberry stout something or other. And I mean, I can't say any of them really sounded overly appealing to me. I know I've had a couple of them, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was this year they introduced it. I think it's Hazy Charmer, which is like their version of a New England IPA. It's kind of like a easy drinking New England IPA. It's really more of a hazy beer than it is a New England IPA. But it's pretty good. It's a very easy, crushable beer to have on a warm day. I can't remember the name of what's the name of their amber. They have an amber. It's not Dreamweaver. That's a wheat beer.
That's a wheat beer.
Hopback something.
Hopback.
They make an amber beer, which is actually okay.
Yeah, Hopback is an amber ale of theirs. I have one of those in my fridge. That's how I know.
Yeah, they're okay. Speaking of ambers, I've had so much Jack's Abbey since I've moved up here.
Hey, I think Daniel Fisher clued us in when I had a Springdale beer. Springdale is an offshoot of Jack's Abbey.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I see them, or I see Springdale around all the time.
Yeah, that's who they're an offshoot of. Yeah. They have I had it on the show, was one of my favorite beers I've had all year, which was a maple mocha aged stout. I can't even remember. It sounded like there was.
I remember that thing.
And that was such an amazing beer. That might have been my favorite beer I had this year on this show.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
So Hopback Amber. So is that a hoppy amber?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice flavor.
And Daniel loves Jack's Abbey. And I finished that Tired Hands, man. I gotta. Woo! I didn't even want to let that one warm up, man. That was.
Hey, can I ask you a question about that particular beer?
Yes, sir.
Is you had the hot cocoa from Southern Tier. Remember the hot cocoa one was like really thick, like a real thick hot cocoa? Was that one, was the Tired Hands one like that, or was it not quite as thick?
No, it was definitely a little thinner and lighter. And I don't know if you saw what Kevin was talking. I just like
people when I talk.
Yeah, really, really drinkable for I don't know how big. I was gonna ask Matt because I don't think they put it on there. I was gonna ask Matt how big. Does he know how big this one is? Because I don't see it on the cans.
I don't know, but I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, is it the 11% Mad Elf or the Lush that's like making me kind of like, or not Lush, Clay. It's called Clay.
Right.
That's making me kind of like.
I'm gonna call him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
Yeah, it's. I'm definitely feeling a little bit over here with the beers.
Matt sent me another one, Doug. Listen to this one. Blended barrel aged marshmallow and peanut butter imperial stout.
Jesus.
That's
Bourbon barrel.
I was like trying to process that.
Did you say bourbon barrel on that too?
Blended barrel aged.
Yeah, it's a blended bourbon barrel.
Yeah. So
2 different bourbon barrels it was aged in?
Mm-hmm. I don't know which two.
And then they blend them together and magic happens, and blends are the best barrel aged beers in my opinion.
Dude, the craziest thing about that beer is it's very like you get a lot of bourbon on the nose, on the initial taste, and then it kind of like very subtly you get the marshmallow at the end, dude, and then you lick your lips, straight peanut butter, like it's the craziest. Seriously, like
he started talking about it. I'm like,
all right, well, let's see it. Let's see it. I love it.
Keep going now. Like finish it. But like when you started talking about it, I was like, I gotta open this. Yeah. All right. Yeah. No peanut butter at all up there,
dude. The peanut butter is all in taste, none in the nose or the head of it. It's. Yeah, nice, real thick, dense. Is this your first Only Void too? Only Void is Tired Hands Stout that they put out once a year, and they put out like 3 variants and they're original. This is a variant that the first time they've done it.
Man.
Lick your lips. Lick your lips. Right?
Oh, damn. So this
an old man.
Everything that Matt said is true. He described it perfectly. Actually, you get that marshmallow at the end there, and then at the very end is the peanut butter coming in, and you don't know it until, like, if I wish I wouldn't have read the thing, because if I would have known about the peanut butter, I wouldn't have got. You get the hit at the end. It's like, bam, Doug. This is. You got to hook up with my friend Matt. He can send you some.
Well, you know what, Matt? I will send you some crazy shit. There's a brewery here, Greg. I took North Brewery that makes a bunch of really crazy shit too. So I'll be
Matt would appreciate the North because that's his. Matt's a big stout guy like us. Big stout. Big stout. Actually, Matt, you describe yourself as a beer drinker while we're here.
So I'm very much like a hophead. I love IPAs, all the different variations of IPAs and stuff like that. I mean, I lucked out when I got into the like craft beer game and stuff like that by living, a half an hour away from Tired Hands that makes like milkshake IPAs, and they're like absolutely like insanity. It's just insanity. But like I hit all of like the weird different like pillars. Like I really like barley wine too. Like barley wine is like a lost art that is just absolutely incredible to me that very, very few breweries make.
Or make well. That's
make well. Honestly, it's make well. Tired Hands makes one. It's not barrel aged. It's good. It's like it's a good base barley wine, but it's not. Like, I just want that bourbon barrel aged. What was that? Pillar of Beasts. Greg, you hooked me up with that the last time that I got to see you. You brought me the salted caramel barley wine, barrel aged barley wine. incredible from Three Floyds.
Three
Absolutely incredible.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm really wanting that one because I'll try anything salted caramel. So
that was
it was just.
Well, it was good because Matt, I was coming that way, and I was like, Matt, I literally said Matt the Three Floyds website, and I was like, brother, pick whatever you want. I'll bring whatever you want. He's like, that barley wine, and I was like, I didn't even see the barley wine before he pointed it out, and then I was like, oh, I'm getting me one of those motherfuckers.
Yeah. I sent you home with a 4-pack of the peach shakes, didn't I? The double shakes.
Ooh.
So good.
Yeah. Right. So
we need to also ask Kevin his beer taste.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there too. But let me jump in real quick. Is that the pandemic completely plowed over everything in 2020? But one of the things that plowed over for sure was our New York City trip with Matt and Doug, and we were hoping to string Kevin in on that one too. This is a 2022. It's without a doubt happening. And I just want to make sure that we all know that and we throw it out there. 2021 is way too hazy for anything at this point for me personally. I'm waiting it out. The second I can jump out, I'm jumping the hell out. So anyway, I can't wait to get back on the road. Oh my goodness, Doug.
Yeah, remember our drive back. Remember our drive back from Dad 2.0. We were talking about the New York City trip, and we were both like,
"It ain't happening.
We can't do it, dude. We just can't."
Right. But we had such a good time. Matt and I had such a good time. And then the Sunday that we did the Philly trip, Matt met me up at Funk. Is Funk still around? Is Funk still going on?
Yeah, Funk's good. They just had a positive COVID test. They shut down for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I think they're going to be back up and running here soon. But they've been wheeling and dealing and getting through. What's nice is they never had food to begin with, so they're just to-go beers and just they're good. They're not losing a ton of money because they always had food trucks.
It's a small little place too, so hopefully the rent's not.
I think I know a lot of places around here with the COVID stuff have just been trying to really help local businesses. Right. So that's pretty good. Hold on, I want to highlight can we get a highlight on Beer Dazed Revolution Straight Jacket there?
Yeah,
I want to try this beer so bad. Anything from Revolution that is a barley wine, I have never had, and I absolutely want to try it.
Okay. Well,
like VSOJ, Straight Jacket, whatever. Like I've never had any of their barley wines, and I've Beer Dazed. I have heard it is absolutely amazing, and it's the staple. It's like it's the staple barley wine of our country, pretty much.
I got a couple of Chicago connections, so I'm gonna try to work you in on that one, brother.
Yeah.
All right. I can send shakes. Like seriously, like I'll go get Tired Hand shakes to send to whoever can hook me up with some of that.
Revolution is one of Afro Beer Chick's favorites, right, Doug?
That is correct.
Okay. So we got all right. So anyway, Kevin, as Doug said, explain yourself as a beer drinker. Where are you at? We should have done this in the context of Mad Elf, but fuck it. So
that's an interesting question because I remember my wife or my daughter asked me like what my favorite beer was, and I'm like, well, it all kind of depends on the situation, the time of year, the whatever. Because I'm like, my tastes kind of jump all over the map depending on what's going on. I would say that I'm not, probably as crazy as you guys when it comes to loading up so many different flavors onto a beer. Some of my favorite beers I like, one of my favorite holiday beers is Celebration IPA by Sierra Nevada. That is like one beer I look forward to every year when it comes out, because it is just such a simple, straightforward, pure version of a West Coast fresh hop IPA, and it's always consistently good every year.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing fancy about it. It doesn't have any spices and bourbon barrels and whatever in it. I mean, but then I'll do peppermint porters.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go through a whole bunch. I cycle through a bunch of things. Like since I've been up here, I've been trying to get into a whole bunch of different Massachusetts beers. And so I was, I've been having a lot of Jack's Abbey. The place that we were in temporarily was it was 2 miles away from Mighty Squirrel Brewery, which I don't know how far they distribute outside of Massachusetts. And they had some really good stuff. They had some the New England IPAs. They made an Imperial Spruce Pilsner called, I think it was Tree Hugger or Spruce Hugger or something, that I thought was good because I'm like, who makes an Imperial Pilsner? I mean,
a few, but not a lot.
Not a lot. And I always liked spruce beers. So that was a really nice change up to have for beers. Yeah, so it's kind of like whatever.
You're all over the place.
I am all over the map. Yeah, I'll go into a place if you go into a big Total Wine place or something. I could spend 2 hours there just looking through all the different things and trying to figure out what it is that I'm in the mood for that day.
You sound like the kind of music person I am. It's about mood and about season.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's about whether if the open up the window and I feel rain. To me, rain is Jimi Hendrix. Rain is blues. You know what I'm saying? And then if it's nice and sunny out, that's happy music. I don't know, happy music. Anyway, but that's a lot of people drink beer in that aspect, which is seasonal and emotional. And sometimes, sometimes you need that big, sometimes you need to have something happen to you to drink that 15% beer that you've been sleeping on, right, Doug? Because Doug sleeps on 15-ounce beers, or 15 ABV beers. So we'll throw it in the cellar and then go down there and be like, man. Right, Doug?
Well, yeah, and I tend to like the higher gravity, but the other thing is doing the show with you has made me open up my avenues a bit more, where I'm trying lower ABV stuff and lighter stuff. So that's something I really appreciated. So.
Cheers. Let's go through some comments here that I missed. This is a funny one. Benjamin Mullen, which we all know Benji. Matt is the reason. Benji's the reason I know Matt. He introduced Matt to our crew, and that's how we know Matt. But Benji, we know Doug. I don't know. Did you meet Benji at that too? I know Kevin. You probably met Benji at that too.
Yeah.
Confused by my first taste, loved the second. Confused on the third, hated it by the time I finished.
Yeah, that's
kind of like a roadmap for a lot of people too, I think.
Yeah,
it is. The reason I love Matt Alpha, the reason this is the only show, Doug, or this is the only beer that we do a whole fucking show on. If you think about it, like of all the beers in the world, it's Matt Alpha.
Yeah. And the funny thing is this isn't even my favorite beer ever. This is one I like at Christmas. So
yeah, it's a seasonal.
And unfortunately, I think I'm the one that kind of drove this bus to make us do this. So I apologize to you guys.
So back
we need to get you a new bus to drive for an annual beer.
So Sly Fox down the road just released a limited run of Mudlust Chocolate Stout. You ever have that one there, Matt?
No, I have a pretty low opinion of Sly Fox beers in general.
I know. Gonna say that.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that. What you said.
I know. Ben's always, propping them up, but I have not had a Sly Fox beer that I have even remotely liked. I'll be completely honest.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's just not there for me.
Where you have a brewery where you just go, you know what, their stuff's fine. It's not that bad. It's just not my cup of tea. For me, it's Ithaca Brewing. Their beers are always they're not bad. Nothing ever wows me from them.
So
Right.
this is the Revolution beer that you want, Straight Jacket, right?
Yep, Straight Jacket or VSOJ, which is very special Straight Jacket, I think.
Beer Day says it's amazing. Death by Cherries, which is a Revolution beer.
I don't like cherries. I just don't like cherries. I'll be completely honest. I mean, you guys picked the wrong beer drinker to get on here.
And the wrong time, because you saw Kevin too. Kevin's face was like.
Is that a variant of Death Star?
Yes.
They make a bunch of those, right?
Yeah, man. I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, it's all good. Yeah, cherries are just not my thing.
I get that way with coffee beers sometimes. I mean, everybody is putting coffee in beer constantly now.
Yes.
Especially stouts. And I'm like,
we love it.
No matter how much I think it sounds good, I tend to get disappointed by them because I tend to find that the coffee makes it so much more bitter than I'm expecting it to be.
Okay.
I mean, it's fine once in a while. I've had some that I really like. But
are you a coffee person though, Kevin?
I mean, I have a cup in the morning, and that's about it. I mean, I'm not like a connoisseur or anything, you know.
No, but you like the taste of coffee.
I like the taste of coffee.
Oh, okay.
So it's overkill. That how much it's
right.
You know, it's like what was the thing? Everyone was, you know, for a while it was like every year there was a different flavor, and they were trying to change the flavors of IPAs. One year it was everyone was putting pineapple in it, and another year everyone was putting mango in it.
Right. Hey, Matt Clark, do you remember? I'm glad Kevin brought that up. Do you remember when pineapple sculpin was a thing?
Yes.
Look at that.
Everything. They put grapefruit, passion fruit,
everything.
Yeah, grapefruit.
Everything we did pineapple.
Yeah. I can't really.
Everything had pineapple, and it wasn't real. It wasn't real pineapple. That's the problem. Like one thing I can appreciate about Tired Hands is like on their Instagram and stuff like that, they're like showing the ingredients that they're using. They're taking real Madagascar vanilla beans and throwing it in with a bunch of, you know, pineapple puree. Give me that. I'll take a pineapple shake. Sure. But like, don't say it's pineapple and then like a bunch of artificial bullshit. That's the thing I can't stand. Honestly, if I'm going to talk about craft beer, it's these like weird little macro breweries that like are just below mass distribution, like Budweiser, that they're putting out artificial crap, and people just fucking, they're all about it. They're just like, oh, give me all this artificial nonsense.
You want to name some names there? Look at her, right? Look at, I love how
Look, I'm not gonna put anybody on blast on this stream.
Yeah, we're looking for that, but that's fine.
But you know,
we
like
agree. I mean,
that I could say as well. Yes.
Honestly, if you're a beer drinker, like if you're a real, like, you know, if you're really into craft beer and stuff like that, just check your sources. It's the same thing as like writing a book report. Check your sources. Like, make sure you're getting like real ingredients in your beer. It's the same thing as going to the grocery store. Like, you know, if you want to buy the Pop-Tarts with all the artificial nonsense in them, go for it. But I'd rather make something that I know is real. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather consume something that I know is like real.
Or go to that local bakery that you know the people that's been there forever, that you know that uses real ingredients, and they source the local. You know, Tired Hands runs off of me as someone who sources local, the local farmers, and they work with local people, and those are the best brews in my opinion.
They do this crazy thing where they do a foraging stout every year. It's called Gatherer. They literally go foraging in local forests, find ingredients for additives to a stout, and then brew it once a year. They go out with a local, like another brewer who's like a major forager, and they find like mushrooms and like pine needles and stuff like that. All stuff that is fermentable that you can throw into a beer, and it's super interesting. I have some from like 2 years ago still. I think I have a 2018 and a 2019 gatherer still. Haven't cracked them yet. I haven't had one yet. I want to split those with somebody. That is like a special occasion beer.
Wonder if they did ramps, which is like a light garlic flavored kind of thing you can forage out in the woods.
So I gotta say something. There is this place near me that is called JJ Radigan's. I had a roasted black garlic porter. Greg, I think I sent you a picture of this.
Mm-hmm.
A black garlic porter was absolutely incredible. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe how good that beer was.
That's so odd.
This whole black garlic thing.
As all this sounds, I'm not really sure I'd want to have a beer that was made by someone going out in the back in the woods, just grabbing stuff randomly and throwing it.
Hey, I found this mushroom out there. You know what it is? No, we're throwing it in the beer. Let's go.
It's kind of like nature's version of a garbage omelet, you know?
There's few things better than a garbage omelet, especially after beer. Your night of drinking, there's few things better than a garbage omelet.
Now y'all making me hungry. But no, you opened me up to that whole black garlic thing, Matt, because I didn't even know what the fuck that was until you sent me that, and I'm like, "What's black garlic?" I didn't even know what that was.
So I have gone to a brewery now twice where I've seen something on their menu and was laughing about it and roasting it. And then literally the person has come, like the waiter or the bartender has come up to me and be like, actually, that's my favorite shit. I'm going to get you a taster of it for free. And I want you to try it.
Right.
And so the first time it was jalapeno strawberry. I saw jalapeno strawberry ale on the board. And I was like, that is the dumbest thing I have ever seen.
Right.
And then the guy handed me a taster of it, and he was like, "Dude, that's my favorite beer." And I was like, "All right, let me try some." It looked like muddy water. I was so like, just like, this is going to be awful. I'll take 3. Like, I ended up ordering 3 for the night because it was actually like absolutely incredible. It's like one of those weird things where you just kind of you find a weird
Doug, it sounds like a dragon's milk variant. Mm-hmm.
Kinda.
Right. Like they come out with these fucking variants, and you're like, that shit sounds disgusting. And next thing you know, you're taking a 6-pack home. And that's just the way it goes. That is literally the way it goes for me with dragon's milk. It's one of Doug's favorites, and we go back and forth on that. I have respect for it. I love it. But Matt, I can totally feel that vibe as far as like some of these concoctions that these breweries put together. You're like, what the fuck? No. And then you taste it and you're like, I'll take 4 of those going home. That's cool.
Right. Yeah. So that was the thing. Like, I'm sitting there. I was like getting lunch, and this place is like, hey, we have like a roasted black garlic porter. And I was like,
ooh.
No, I'm good. Like, that sounds awful. And the guy was like, it's our fastest selling beer. And I was like, okay, like, it still sounds bad. He comes over with a taster of it. I had 2 while I had lunch, brought home a crowler. Like, I couldn't believe how good it was. Right. So it's not
exactly pairs well with strawberry jalapeno beer.
Tacos. Honestly, anything spicy. Tacos and strawberry jalapeno beer. Like, give me that all day. All day.
The black garlic porter sounds like pair well with any sort of Italian food.
I had it with like a cold noodle bowl.
Was the garlic overwhelming? No.
So actually, if you've ever fried up garlic, like you just fry up garlic with like vegetables, with like other veggies.
Yep.
You know, like when you bite into the garlic, it kind of has that like dry, slightly bitter, kind of semi-sweet flavor. That is the finish on just a really good Baltic porter. It's just that at the end. It's crazy. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it, but it's just a really solid porter with this just really, really nice, dry, crisp finish. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. I didn't want to like it. Believe me, the jalapeno strawberry and the roasted black garlic porter, I didn't want to like it. I didn't want it to be like weird, but guess what? It was weird. I fucking loved it.
That's what I'm saying. I would take a sip over that over what Kevin had before, which is that peppermint porter. Which I definitely don't want to like that shit. I don't like peppermint, and I don't like when people try to sweeten porters at all. I think porters are roasted love. But I would have tried that though, Kevin. Don't get me wrong. But like mint is not my thing. You were talking about mint before, and you probably didn't see me rolling my eyes and like fuck that shit. So like, but I would definitely try it. But I'm with him. I would try that garlic thing more than anything. But speaking of trying, and I don't know, we've done this over a year and a half, Doug, and I'm still getting shit. I'm still shitty with my segues, but Doug's gonna try something now. I think, Doug.
Yeah, I have a third one, folks.
I'm bad at the segue thing, though, Matt. I'm working on it.
Got off Grand Cru.
Okay, so have you guys ever had the Matt Elf Grand Cru, Matt or Kevin?
No, I have seen it in the stores.
So, Doug, what year is that?
This is this year's. Okay. I had it last year. I wasn't a huge fan then, so let's see how.
You had it on a show.
What makes it special, Doug?
I don't know. It just said it's made in a Grand Cru style. That's the only thing I can think.
Doug doesn't think it's special at all. He hated it last year.
I wasn't a big fan of it last year. I remember it being more sour than I like. So,
Doug, did you have this on the show?
No.
Okay. Oh,
look at that color on that.
Oh, Matt, you never had the Grand Cru?
I had a little taster of it.
Okay.
I've never really. I didn't have enough of it to really dissect what I thought about it, if that makes sense.
So I guess the Mad Elf, when it says Mad Elf, I guess we're talking about adding cherries and honey, right? I guess that's the thing, right? Is that the?
Yeah.
Do you get the cherries in there, Doug? What's going on?
Yeah, much more tart. Much more tart. This is like a tart sour.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you're gonna get cherries, and if you don't like cherries, it's probably not gonna be your bag. But if you like sours,
cherries,
I think Greg, you'd like this more than the regular Mad Elf.
Well, I was going to ask the boys if they like creeks. But
yeah, right in that vein.
Yeah, so I can do cherries in a sour because it's more tart, and I like that flavor speaks to me in a sour. It does not like for a Belgian, which is a strong ale, it just doesn't do it for me. Also, I'm looking at the comments on the right-hand side, and I have to say the rye beer with caraway seed, that definitely has to be Alex, because that was one of the most hilarious things from our Philly trip.
Hilarious.
That is absolutely.
What are we doing here?
That is absolutely. We can talk hours. Rye beer with caraway seed. We could literally talk another hour on that one. Like literally, that is the worst beer I've ever tasted in my fucking life.
It was absolutely awful.
That works in the rye bread beer.
That's the rye bread beer. That's what.
Okay, I was like, right. You were like, hey, if you're going for rye bread,
see that
hits it. It's just blah.
Yeah, again, you like rye bread, go get that beer. If you don't like rye bread, stay the fuck away from that beer. It is but yes. This is rye beer with caraway seed. Yes, it is that still a thing? It's Philly. What is that place called? You know, Matt? What's the place called?
Urban Village, I think.
Urban Village.
That's what you told me. It was Urban Village. That was the one that made that beer. Yes.
And I wonder if Urban Village is still a thing. Man, I wonder if all the breweries that we've been to, are they all? That's why I asked you about Funk, if they're still going.
I hope all of them are still okay except for Urban Village.
Oh, man.
Nothing personal, but it was
Nothing personal. Nothing
Right.
personal. Look, I'm not going to talk shit on breweries, but
it was so vastly different than all those breweries that we led. Even going up to, remember that one where we did the mystery flights? I mean, that was amazing too.
Mystery Flight. That would be fucking cool.
It was fun as hell. Actually, it really made that one. They had good food there, but it really made that because we were like, oh, we'll all get mystery flights, and then we were all trying to get it. And Matt, you won, right?
no, that was Alex. Alex won. I think I got
Alex
3 of the
won,
4.
okay.
Alex got all 4.
Right. They literally rolled out. So they roll out flights to you, Kevin and Doug. But they don't tell you the flavor, and then or they don't tell you what beers they are. But if you get them right, don't you get them? Isn't there you get something off, or what was it?
Yeah, you get like $2 off your flight if you get them all right, which is like a cool.
They give you the list. They give you the list of beers, and you have to tell them what say.
Yep.
One
You
is
just
that
got your
one.
menu in front of you. 4
Right.
out of what? I think it was 18 beers.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that I'd definitely do that. That sounds like fun.
It was great.
It was fun.
Such a great time.
So you're getting 18 beers to sample?
No,
No.
you're getting 4.
18 beers. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And then what happened was, they mixed it between us. So then we're like, oh, that's your number 2. No, that's your number. So it kind of like, I mean, it was helpful, but it wasn't. If that makes
Yeah.
18 beers, 16 of them were New England IPAs. So you had to
No, actually, I was really surprised. I think they only had like 5 or 6 IPAs, and then the other ones were like, oh, there's like 3 Rattlers, there's some Pilsners, there's a Doppel, there's a
3 lagers or something. So like they were fucking up with the 3 lagers.
Yes, exactly what Alex just said. It made mediocre beers way more fun.
Yes. 4 random out of the 18 that you had to identify. Right. Yeah, I won that shit.
Also, there's 2 comments over there that I want to address. One, there's Ben Mullen saying that porters can't be sweet. I completely disagree because there are chocolate porters. There are chocolate porters, vanilla porters, honey porters.
Ben, they have these fruit porters that, in my opinion, completely suck. And the worst one ever, and I will call them out because I don't give a shit, is Great Lakes Brewing Company. What is it called? What is it called? Fuck. It's a cranberry porter, and it's the worst porter I've ever had in my fucking life.
Wow.
It is horrible. Listen, porters are supposed to be fruity. They're not supposed to be like, I'm sorry, porters are supposed to be roasty for me. They're not supposed to be fruity things where we're throwing in fruit. Like, you want to throw in fruit, get a fucking stout and throw fucking fruit in there. Because everybody throws whatever the fuck they want in stouts. Can you please keep my porters a little bit simple and streamlined? Because that's the fucking style. Like, it's simple and streamlined. It's not fancy. We're not, no. Strawberry rhubarb, Greg? No. If we're talking about strawberry rhubarb in context of a porter, fuck no. That's where I'm at with porters. No.
Oh, he's saying NG at the end. New Glarus.
Strawberry rhubarb is Glarus.
That strawberry rhubarb beer, I have had that, and I want like 18 fucking cases. That beer is phenomenal.
Yes. I took that one out of context, I think. I don't know, man. We got a lot of, you guys bringing in a lot of damn comments here. Let's see here.
Benji, we just need to get together and have some beers, bud. For real, hit me up. You know where I'm at.
This one?
Yeah. Dude.
Damn.
It doesn't even need to be a mini road trip. Let's just go get lunch sometime, bud.
Benjamin hasn't been to Tired Hands yet? Okay, I don't feel that bad. I still feel bad though, Matt. But
he's out here like, Sly Fox. I'm about to ruin this whole man's career.
Right. Greg Washington, wasn't there a Mexican Imperial Pilsner or something of that in the breweries in Minneapolis? There is the Indeed Brewing has that Mexican honey lager, which is fucking
You had that on the show.
It is one of the best lagers ever made in my whole life. Fucking wonderful, beautiful. I think that's Alex. Yeah, man, that's a beautiful beer. Cafe Death. We got to get you some Cafe Death out there, back east, for sure.
Yeah,
Constellation Bands bought Ballast Point for $1 billion, and they threw every type of fruit in the scoping. Actually, weren't they throwing fruit in the scoping before that shit? But yeah,
I have a friend who works for Constellation, and he was telling me about the acquisition, and he said they put a ton of money into trying to broaden Ballast Point's reach and this, and rolling it out nationwide, and it tanked. It did absolutely nothing. And he said part of the problem was it was exactly that. He's like, it was just too expensive for a 6-pack. They just couldn't get the price down.
No, and it was such a fad though. Like,
yeah. Oh, and they made 20 variations on the same beer.
Right. And ultimately, we talked about this too before. I visited this brewery out in San Diego when Dad 2 was out there.
Yeah, I think we were on the same. We went to the dinner together, right?
No, I missed that dinner. I went to lunch.
Oh.
I wasn't invited. I wasn't. Anyway,
Kevin here, who gets.
I wasn't that important yet in the craft beer thing. No, but that aside, their unfiltered scoping was fantastic. That is a great beer if you don't start adding shit into it. And Doug has heard me talk about the fantastic beer that is Lion Google's Summer Shandy without the shitty fucking fruit that they put into it. That Shandy beer is a fantastic base beer. And then Matt Clark was telling us that the base beer of Mad Elf is a fantastic base beer before they start adding the cough syrup.
Didn't you
I
have the base beer for Dragon's Milk when you were visiting there?
The Dragon's Milk base beer is, the Dragon's Milk variant. Excuse me?
Before they barrel age it, though. Like, I think you've had it, but didn't you say you had it before they barrel age it?
And it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful after too. Don't get me wrong. I just make fun of like the combinations that they fooled me into liking. Like Matt says, like you look at the thing, and you're like orange and like pomegranate. It sounds like shit. And then you have it, and you're like, damn, give me 4, give me 4. I got 8. I gotta send Doug 2. And like that's that's how they, you know what I mean? But it's funny too, because I even, Doug and I talked about this a bunch of times on the stream, which is I was literally at New Holland, Matt and Kevin, in the cave of I keep forgetting the name of the fucking beer, Dragon's Milk. I was in Dragon's Milk Cave, and I was telling these guys that like your variants are so crazy that I don't want to try them. But what makes me try them is that I've always tried them and they're always good. And they're like, man, we go through tasting panels. Like before you guys see it, like we have a whole bunch of people taste it. So like we're not just, it seems like we're just throwing shit out there. But there's a whole bunch of things that are going on behind. And I knew that, but it was just really reassuring to hear them say that shit. Like, so that
absolutely.
That orange creamsicle stout, really? Like that sounds like crap, and then you get it, and you're just like, "This is fucking great. How do you guys do this?"
I remember the one I had is like, "Here's the orange chocolate," and you were like, "I
know,
sounds terrible." Like, awesome. You know what it's like? It's like those fucking orange balls that you get at Christmas that you crunch. That's exactly what it tastes like as a beer.
And the best brewers do this well, as Matt was saying. Again, they put these together, and it's just like, man. So I want to go, but I was waiting on you, Greg, to Tired Hands. I can't help there's a few tired breweries here in the Boooze. That's the closest one.
Yeah, I know
So
he's,
please save me.
he-
Man, if you like it, you like it, Ben. I'm sorry, Doug. If you like it, you like it, man. Like nobody cares. Like, we all have different tastes, and you enjoy what you enjoy, and you support what you want to support. Boom.
Yeah,
I won't talk shit on some faceless breweries, but I'll talk a little shit on my friends.
Hey, Matt, can I ask you a quick question because
Sure.
this is be in your sort of sphere is so Weyerbacher went through a buyout.
Yeah.
I have not seen any of their beers up here, and we used to see some, not a lot, but we'd see some like Mary Monks and that kind of shit. None. I have seen none of their stuff up here. Have you heard anything about what's going on with them? Because I love their high gravity stuff. Their high gravity stuff is amazing,
and that's most of what they do.
Yeah. I haven't seen much about them. I have noticed that some of their like regular stocking items around here have been kind of disappearing off shelves. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if it's like COVID and everyone wants the higher gravity beers, like to just kind of deal. Like, look, for real, but like I don't know. It's kind of curious. I have some friends that kind of like live near there. Maybe I'll send one in to see like, hey, like go into the tap room and just like try to start some conversations and see what's up. It is interesting. I hate to see the smaller breweries get bought by like a bigger group because I get so wary of it.
Who bought Weyerbacher?
I'm not sure. I forget who bought them.
I don't know if they got bought or they just like borrowed money.
No, they got bought because they borrowed money and they couldn't pay back what they borrowed because their management wasn't really on point. As I remember, this is kind of how I remember it, and I could be totally fucking wrong here. But what worried me was the idea that I didn't want them to lose who they were because they would make these fucking awesome, heavy, high gravity stuff. And you would go into like their brew pub and it would be like, all right, we have 10 beers and fucking 8 of them are 10% or more. You'd be like, Jesus Christ. And then they'd have a fistful of some weird shit they made. And you'd be right in the middle of their production floor while the fucking forklifts are zipping around.
Literally. Yeah.
I loved that. I just felt like I was in the middle of them actually making shit. That was what I liked about them. And I haven't seen Blithering Idiot. I haven't seen any of their stuff up here. And we used to get that on the regular. Kevin, do you get any of their stuff up your way?
I don't know about up here in Massachusetts. When I was back in Stanford, I know I used to get Mary Monks, as I bought that a couple times. Mm-hmm. And I think Blithering Idiot sounds familiar, so I think they used to have that too. I know I used to see the name. I think Mary Monks was the only one I had of theirs. Mm. But I haven't seen it up here in the couple months I've been up here. But we didn't really get a lot of it back in Connecticut.
Yeah, Doug, and I've talked. Matt's heard me talk about it, but my visit to Weyerbacher was kind of like what you're talking about, which is I rolled in there after I was at Twin Rivers in Easton, which is, with all due respect, a better brewery and a better experience than Weyerbacher. So if you ever go to Easton, go to Twin Rivers. If they're still there, it's an authentic building. The building's been there since the 1800s. They have a brewery system where they start on the 3rd floor and it goes down to the 2nd floor. And if I can comes down, they have like a gravity. It's amazing. The food is great. I'm telling you, Twin Rivers and Easton is the place to go. Don't miss Weyerbacher either. But when I rolled into Weyerbacher, this was like the end of the one of Doug's favorite shows on HBO. What was that shit called? Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Thank you. Sorry.
Birds. Like, holy shit.
It was Thorns at the fucking end, though. Don't get me wrong, because I heard enough from you people. But anyway, anyway, look at Matt laughing. But I remember that because the brewers, I was there like at my favorite time at a brewery, which is in the mid-afternoon when no one else is there. And it's like one bartender and no one's around, right? And the brewers are coming off the first shift or that shift that they're working, and they had a female brewer there, and me and her got talking just about everything. We actually got talking more about the game of what is it?
Game of Thrones.
Thank you. More than more than anything else, and she was telling me about the ending, and we were all talking about it. But yes, Weyerbacher had that like work, like hard, like blue collar brewery type feel to it. So like, yeah, no one's saying anything about it. I haven't heard anything about it. So I hope they're doing well.
Great barley wine there too that I fucking love.
Oh, what's that one?
I want to say it was Blasphemy. I could be wrong. They had Heresy, Blasphemy. They had a couple different like beers named in that realm. I think Heresy was the barley wine. Blasphemy was. I think Blasphemy was a barley wine. There's a few barley wines that I grabbed that I thought that that I cellared, and one of them was Blasphemy, and one was Uanita from Utah. Was it Utah? That
oh yeah,
their barley wine is Matt. I don't know if you can get that. It's their barley wine is fucking superb, and I'm not a huge barley wine person, but that one's really great.
Giant Jones second anniversary week one. Doug, didn't you get one of these?
Yeah. And I drank it. It was awesome.
I love it. And
you had it on the show, by the way.
No. I was just making sure. Have we ever had any mushroom beers?
I have 2 in my fridge. The Gatherers.
Oh, you have 2 mushroom beers right now?
Yeah, there's mushrooms in the Gatherer beers from Tired Hands, the foraging beers.
Oh, okay.
I've had here, but not one in the other.
Doug, how you feeling now?
I'm actually good. By the way, Daniel Fisher posted Insanity was the barley wine that he posted. So yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have heard about that one.
Yeah, that one.
I've never gotten my hands on it though, because I don't think they actually distribute it. I think you have to go there to get a bottle of it.
Yeah, my wife got one when she was traveling for work and stopped there and grabbed one of those. So yeah.
Did y'all have the short rib poutine or the Doug Fat Fritz too? Really, Daniel? No.
I would have both of those.
No, the menu there is fucking fantastic. I mean, I'm telling you, Two Rivers is a reason to go to Eastern Pennsylvania. And I don't say that a lot because there's no reason to go to Eastern Pennsylvania.
No, there isn't.
Sorry. Hey, man.
I would. There's no reason to go to Binghamton, New York, and I live near here.
Hey, man, I'm from Allentown. So, like, Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton. Easton was always the one. We played hockey there, but we never – listen, Easton could give us hockey. And that's maybe I could get a bag of weed out there, but that's it.
Okay, all right. So I'll say this for Mideast Pennsylvania, sure. Mideast Pennsylvania, nah.
Right.
Southeast Pennsylvania, though, like we got all the best beer in the state.
I'm not gonna. I don't have an argument. I'm not even gonna touch that one. I'm not because I was. There were 3 breweries in Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton area that blew me away. Funk was one of them, and Twin Rivers was the other one. The other one was what's the other one? It's in the Hellertown. There were some good ones.
Lost. Did you go to Lost?
Lost. Man, you guys got some good shit going. I nope.
A lot of good beer around.
But I love that Daniel was at Two Rivers. I don't think Two Rivers gets enough dap. I hope they're still doing well. Yeah. Also, Daniel like Sunday morning
that
from Weyerbacher. Now that's one I remember.
Yeah, that's from Weyerbacher. That is a fabulous beer.
Best brewery in Massachusetts.
Kevin,
yours.
You know.
What'd you say?
Wait, it's not
for 2 months. Come on, give me a break. I mean, I've been to Treehouse, I've been to Trillium.
Okay. So we got to get back to you once the pandemic ends. You get out a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like it has to be Treehouse, right?
Well, I mean, Treehouse, their beers are good. They're really good, but there again, some of it is just it's a little bit of hype just because they don't distribute anywhere. Because again, they are known for making New England IPAs, and they make variation upon variation of some of them. I mean, they make one called green, then they make very green, then they make very green, and they do that with like 6 or 7 of their beers.
True.
So after a while, it's kind of hard to distinguish some of them. I mean, I've had some of them that that are not variations of one another. They're different ones, and I have a hard time telling them apart.
Really?
Yeah. But I think what I like about Treehouse, and I think they make a lot of good beers that are not their IPAs.
Yes, they do. Absolutely.
They have a couple. I can't think of the names of them off the top of my head, but they had a couple good milk stats I had there. One I know was like a s'mores milk stout or something, which was really good. They make a really good amber. Their Pilsner was okay. I can't. There's one called Trail Mix, which I can't remember exactly what that was. I just remember the can, and I remember I liked the beer that it was.
Don't make me take my compliments back.
I haven't been out to Treehouse in about a year or so. I mean, we were going out there when we were taking my daughter to Boston. We'd actually pass by Treehouse, so we would stop there and pick up stuff and bring it back. So
Treehouse is kind of like the toppling Goliath of the Midwest.
Yeah, but Treehouse is actually before I left Connecticut, they were opening up they're opening up something in Connecticut.
Yep.
Because Treehouse actually is just over it's in Sturbridge, right? I forget the town it's in. It's not that far from Sturbridge. It's like just over the Connecticut line. They were opening something in Connecticut, but they were serving. It wasn't just beer. I want to say it was cider they were serving. They were going to make and serve in addition to some of their beers. And that was their first time moving out of their one thing. And it's a beautiful brewery. It is just amazing. And people are crazy there. Totally crazy. They line up for 3-4 hours to get beers.
Yep. So Tired Hands is kind of the same way here. People will line up for hours for shakes. I did it for like a year. I would go down for like every one of Tired Hands releases for like a year. And then I had to like call it off. I was like, this is insanity. I'd rather like trade for it, or I'd rather just visit some of the breweries, because I was going there just to get trades for other places. I'm not really doing the whole like trading too much anymore. But the Treehouse is kind of the toppling of the Midwest. I can see where that comment comes from, because Treehouse does have, well, Toppling has the stouts. I think that's their big like getter, essentially.
Assassin, right? The Assassin.
Yeah, Assassin. They have some others like now, honestly, though, like Toppling, we get here all the time. Like I can go down to my local grocery store and get King Sue in a 4-pack, which was like unheard of a year ago. So Toppling has started to become a macro, and their quality has gone down, because I've gotten bomber bottles of King Sue, 3 years ago, from somebody that just happened to visit the brewery, bring it back, and then had 3 bomber bottles and didn't want one. And then, I go get a can of it from the Giant near my house, and it's completely different. It doesn't have that same taste. Whereas Treehouse, I feel like they haven't fallen off yet. I don't know if they'll fall off. I have been lucky enough to have friends that like live right next to Treehouse, have gotten me like the King Julius's and like the very greens and the very hazy and stuff like that. And then I also have some friends around here that like go up, almost like monthly and get like the different beers. So I'm like really well versed with Treehouse. What Beer Days is saying, like they have like the big IPAs, the Assassin, the KBBS for stouts. And yeah, with their growth, the quality is definitely starting to lack.
Treehouse is still they really are only producing there at the one spot and selling.
Sure.
They're not distributing anywhere outside. So stuff.
Right.
So if you're getting a Treehouse beer, unless it's been sitting in your car or in your refrigerator or your cellar for how many months or whatever, you're getting a fresh beer.
Right. Absolutely. Treehouse has like some really amazing it's called their shot beers. They have like single shot, double shot, triple shot, where it's like coffee stouts with espresso. Those are incredible. I've had the single shot, I've had the double shot, I've had like a very small like taster of the triple shot at like a beer share that I went to. Man, they really just I love Treehouse's quality, and Treehouse is why I don't say Tired Hands is the best brewery in the Northeast. I think Treehouse is just on a different level in terms of they can consistently put out the same quality of beer over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. You redeemed yourself, McKeever.
Oh, who said that?
Well,
how did I redeem myself? How? What did I do right?
I don't know. I
need to know.
I think you were criticizing Treehouse at some point, and I don't know, whatever.
One place I will criticize is I absolutely love Trillium, but Trillium, it really depends on which of their spots you get their beer, because if it's brewed in Canton, I don't know what it is about their Canton brewery, but the beers that are brewed there versus the beers that you get from actually like inside of Boston, completely different. I have literally done the vertical and the beer is worse. I don't know if it's old, like I don't know if it's older because they don't really stamp all their stuff all the time, but yeah, like it is absolutely insane. I haven't had enough Hill Farmstead to give them the tops over Treehouse. I've had a few of the Hill Farmstead beers. But yeah, Treehouse Tired Hands is, you can sit there and debate that all the time, but
I need to make that road trip right there.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yo, if you're going to make that road trip right here, stop in Philly.
That realm too. He's right there. We need to go.
Yeah.
Again, man, I'm telling you, I can't wait to get out on the road. You motherfuckers don't know.
Dude, let me know. I'm down for a Big East trip. Big Northeast road trip.
A question of one of our commenters real quick.
Yeah.
So our friend Manny was talking about having a cereal beer. I cannot remember what it was. It looked like Fruity Pebbles. I could be totally wrong. Oh, maybe that's the Fruity Pebbles that he was talking about. But he had a cereal beer he was saving for this show for Friday. And Manny, if you're there to give a comment on what you had, I am super curious about how that tasted, because, if you're going to throw a sugary fucking cereal thing into a beer, Crunchberry, that's what it was. Yes.
Crunchberries?
Crunchberry. Captain Crunchberry beer. I want to see what that is.
Crunchberries are my favorite. That's one of my favorite cereals.
It's the roof of your mouth ruiner that tastes awesome.
Dude, give me a Crunchberry stout.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Give me a Crunchberry stout.
Give me a Crunchberry
Someone make that.
It has, but I want to hear about it.
Right.
Now we're sitting here fucking twiddling our thumbs. So Manny,
Manny, we are literally open every single Friday in 2021. Every single one.
Yeah.
So you want to get some cereal beers and come on and talk about it?
Oh man, bring it, man, bring it.
Greg, did that one where you add Lucky Charms right to the mash?
Wait, beer day. What? Wow, I'm impressed somebody knows Quisp.
Quisp.
What the hell is this? What's Quisp? What the fuck is that?
Quisp is?
What's Quisp?
What was the Quisp competitor that came out at the same time? That was out in the same time in the 70s.
Oh my God, Quisp is like.
It was this beer. It was this cereal that was. It had like the Martian on the cover, and it was really popular in the 70s, and it had a rival cereal that had a similar name or something.
Like Twix.
And the thing is, they stopped production, but now it gets put out every year in limited distribution for like a couple weeks every year. So there was like one place back in Stanford that used to they'd get like a pallet of it every year, and it like would disappear within like a week.
It looked like an early version of Qbert on the box.
Qbert, oh yes, okay, yep.
Or Snort. Remember them?
Okay. Bearder says, "Look, guys, I'm old. Like, give me a break."
I'm gonna guess that I'm slightly older than you.
Manny has a box of Quisp at home. Is that true? That can't be true.
King Vitamin Stout.
All right, Manny said
that was my cereal when I was growing up.
By the way, Manny said that that Crunchberry beer was delicious. I don't know if you saw that comment.
Really? Does he really have a box of Quisp at home?
Hey, man.
Probably.
By the way, Manny is a cereal junkie. He has every fucking cereal. I kid you not.
I'll post it. Manny
also called me out for having a dark background right now. Manny, to answer your question, no, I'm not in like witness protection or on the dark web. If I turn that light on, though, I just become a silhouette. So it just completely washes me out. So I'm just going with this.
Manny is awesome.
Yeah, we love Manny.
Yo,
come
Greg,
on, Manny. We got all Fridays open. What's up, Matt?
What are you thinking of the blended marshmallow bourbon madness right now? Because you've been sipping on it for a little bit now.
Not anymore.
Really that good.
Man, it still tastes really good warmed up. More peanut butter though. Like at the end, I want a Reese's cup right now. To like pop
Yeah.
out. You know what I mean? The peanut butter is still really nice though. But how they balanced it in this is just amazing. And I like peanut butter. I love peanut butter. Actually, I love it. But I'm not a big peanut butter beer guy. There's got to be a balance there. And the balance is here, man. Now, this is what I could enjoy a 4-pack of, meaning I would drink like 3 of them and only give 1 away. Usually I drink 1 of them and give 3 away. That's how it works.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I had enough. It's good. But like, this is 2. This one I would keep like 3. And I might even like, I don't know, because Doug, like not that it wasn't on my sphere before, but Doug is really I wouldn't say taught me, but Doug has made me more mindful about sometimes putting big beers away, or sometimes experimenting with like, grabbing 2, having 1, and then talking about another one in a year. Usually I'm just like, man, if I like this shit, I'm just gonna down it. But Doug's giving me that perspective, like, hey man, maybe you want to save 1. And then next year, you pick up another one, and then you can do the same, and you can do all that shit. And as a person who wants to know more about beer, that's something that I need to continue to at least be mindful of instead of just like chugging this shit. so I don't know. I got 1 Mad Elf here still, and I don't know. Somebody wanted it here, so somebody's gonna get that shit.
Beer Days asked if anyone has a left-hand peanut butter stout. I actually have one in my refrigerator right now.
Left-hand peanut butter stout is one of the
good peanut butter stout, man.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
I like their milk stout. That was like a staple for me if I like went out and was in the mood for something like a little lighter. In terms of stout, I mean, in terms of a stout, it's like a milk stout's a lot lighter than like 11%er. But
yeah, the peanut butter, the one I'm assuming the one I'm assuming is talking about the same one. It is a peanut butter milk stout.
Okay.
and it's not. I mean, I've had much sweeter milk stouts, and so it's actually kind of, it's kind of mellow. It's not, it's not so sweet that like your teeth hurt when you're drinking it.
Yeah,
sure, okay.
But yeah, it is good. It's got a nice peanut butter aroma and taste to it.
Now I want to add though, Dangerous Man's peanut butter porter will be the exception to my sweet porter rule, because that's a fantastic porter. So, and it gets on the sweet side because of the peanut butter. But I just want to make sure, because I went on a rant about sweet porters, and generally speaking, still fuck sweet porters. So anyway, my friend Tim McMichael says that Drecker makes a fruity purred sour. So I just want to ask Matt, did you get to that Olden sour that you got? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I did. I got to the Brains sour from Drecker. It was incredible. It's definitely more like one of the smoothies where it's like thicker. I split it with somebody. We both really, really enjoyed it. I like the smoothie sours are incredible. I've seen Drecker. I have not been able to get my hands on it. I haven't ordered it through Tavor. Every time I've seen it, it sells out really quickly. I was really happy to get it. I still have some of the IPAs to get through, but that like Brains Drecker was absolutely amazing. Also, Tim McMichael is the one that was saying that he wants to get hooked up with a Mad Elf.
Yeah. Tim, I literally have one for you, and I'm not going to drink it, so I'll.
Yo, Greg, I sent you two because if one got crushed in the mail, I figured this way there's two chances for it. Second was I have 3 extras already.
Yeah, exactly. And I knew
with chocolate stouts and make it work.
Right,
but I could also just enjoy the chocolate stouts.
Right. So what happened was,
I see how it is.
So what happened was I knew, long story short, I knew that I was going to have to get either Mad Elf from one of you three. So then I knew at the end of the day my boy Doug's going to have my back, and he would have sent it to me. It was cool. But Matt had already offered me on the side, because we were talking about it. Matt's like, dude, I'll send you Mad Elf if you need. And I'm like, great. Or actually, I think I said, Matt, can you help me out with some Mad Elf? And he's like, yeah, dude, we'll work it out. So then what happened was my friend Tim McMichael here, who's asking about Odin, he's up by Drecker, and he can get it. And he had actually sent me some Drecker. So I'm like, what happened was I saw that there was a beer that had the name Odin. Odin is Matt Clark's son. His name is Odin. It's not spelled that way, but his name is Odin. So I was like, I called up Matt, and I was like, I didn't call him up. I texted Tim and said, hey, Tim, can you send my friend Matt some of this Odin beer, because I know he loves it because that's his son. And Tim's like, hell yes, I can. So Tim sent Matt a bunch of Drecker, and then Matt ultimately sent me the Tired Hands and the Mad Elf. So it only makes sense if I end up sending Tim the Mad Elf that he wants so bad to make the whole thing work. But it was great though, because I did see that Tim posted somewhere online this Odin beer, and I was like, it was funny because I was like, dude, can you get that Odin beer still? And he's like, hey, let's check it out. So he went and got it, and I was like, dude, you got to send it to my boy. It's all good. So yeah, that's Tim McMichael. And Tim's in our football thread, so it was fantastic how it all worked out. And I wanted to make sure that you got that Odin beer, even though it wasn't the same thing. But it triggered me in my head, because I'm like, damn, that's my boy. My boy has a son named Odin. What's up? Like, he's got to have this beer. And you're like,
dude, it's awesome. I to answer his question, I have not drank that yet. I still have the three other ones. I drank the sour. Because I had a friend here who only likes sours, so I was like, all right, well, we'll go through some of my sours that I have. The IPAs are coming for sure. And there was a sour that I said, sour, but like it's saison, that I sent you, that I am so excited for you to try, because it is like one of my favorite beers from Tired Hands. And believe it or not, it's not an IPA, which is like usually blasphemy for a lot of people with Tired Hands around here. But that's that Shambolic that I sent you, Greg.
Yeah, and then that's the one I have left. You sent the two, you sent the Madoff, and then the two stouts. So I still have one back there that I'm gonna. Yeah, I can't wait. But no, man. So it was cool how these beer transactions work, and it was really fun. So Kevin, I don't know. We're gonna wrap soon. Otherwise, we'll be here another hour. So I don't know if you guys want to talk about the beers that you had tonight. What we do is we usually do a wrap as far as like, what you had and tell everybody what you had and, what you liked. Obviously, we had Matt out, but what else did you have?
Well, I had the Kentucky Bourbon Barrel peanut peppermint porter, which totally disgusted Greg. And
but how did it drink though? And
it's not. I mean, I've been just kind of sipping on it. It's not bad. Like I said, it's got a really strong like Andes mint, like chocolate mint aroma to it. But the mint flavor is a lot more subtle when you drink it. I'm not really getting I'm not really getting any of the bourbon aspect of it at all. I mean, it's okay. It'd be a good dessert beer to have.
Are you a mint guy, Kevin? Do you like mint, Kevin?
Excuse me?
Do you like mint? Is mint something that it's a flavor that you like, or
mint is a flavor I like? Now, like I said, this is the first time I've ever had it in a beer. I mean, I've seen them before, but I've never had a mint beer before. So this was the first one I had, and it's not bad. I would try a different one.
Kevin, and I'm with you too. I don't think and I don't know what Matt thinks, but I don't see many mint beers. But if you think about it, mint beer is it would be a good holiday beer if you can make that balance work.
Yeah, I know there was Ballast. We were talking Ballast Point. Ballast Point, was it Victory at Sea or something? They had some kind of mint stout or something a few years ago.
Chocolate stout.
Yeah.
So did Southern Tier.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I did see the Southern Tier one before.
The Southern Tier one was like it's like creme brulee and all that. It was a dessert beer, but it was thin mint. It was like a Girl Scout cookie inspired.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
have we had some thin mint beers? Right. I was going to say that, Doug. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So Southern Tier literally made a thin mint beer, Doug?
Yeah.
Wow.
They made a Samoa beer, which I didn't have.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know that. Damn, that's cool. That brewery's got with the Girl Scouts and cool. So Kevin, you had the peppermint beer and you also had what, the Mad Elf?
In the Mad Elf, that was it. I had a couple more that I didn't open because we were just getting into all the other stuff.
Real quick, what is your? We know you don't like Mad Elf, but what was your take as far as having it last year and having it this year?
I thought last year's was better. This year, I thought it was really. It seemed a lot really syrupy to me, and I wasn't getting the cherry on the aroma, but I was getting the cherry on the taste.
More syrupy than last year.
I was getting the cherry more in the aroma than I was in the taste, and I didn't think it was that bad last year. It was a lot. It was a lot less awful last year than I remember it being.
Right. And Kevin, so real quick, because we asked Matt and we asked Doug. I don't think we got to you. So where are you with the sour cherry? Like, would you do a creek or would you do like where it's more tardy?
I'm just anti-cherry. Cherry's not.
Okay, cool. Right. This is not your palate. It's not going to work ever. Right. That's cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I like tart beers, and like I like some sours if they're not overly sour. But I tend to go more towards tart than I do towards sour.
Right.
But regardless if it was cherry, I'm not drinking it.
Cool.
This is the one and only time all year I will drink a cherry beer for you guys.
Look at that, Doug. He goes the extra mile for us because he loves us, and that's how it works. Kevin, we love you, man, and we got to have you back. Like I told Doug and I told everybody, literally all of our Fridays are open for 21.
All right. Let me pick out some more of the local brew. I was going to have a beer. I literally am walking distance from a local brew pub, and they have their own beer. And I was going to get one for tonight, but I just ran out of time and didn't get a chance to go down there.
Kevin,
more time to explore some more breweries here in Massachusetts.
Let me hit you up because we'll schedule you early next year because we almost got. I mean, we didn't get as many comments, but we got so many comments from you buying your house and that whole story. I think we just need to dive into that just for a whole hour, man. So that's amazing. So I don't know. I'm going to talk to you once we get off of here. I'm going to talk to you about scheduling early next year so we can get into all that, man, because that's really interesting. Yeah, awesome. So Matt, so what did you have and what did you like? And you had the Matt Elf and you had some other So yeah, what was your we know you're quote unquote a hater. We know you're quote unquote a hater of Matt Elf. So how did Matt Elf taste to you last year to this year? And where was that at?
Last year it was just the cherries that I had a problem with. This year it was just the whole beer. I don't know. I look. I like the yeasty smell when I walk into a brewery, or I crack a sour. Sure, because wild fermentation, you're gonna get that smell. But boy, you know what really sucks is drinking what used to be a Belgian strong or a Belgian even style of ale, expecting cherries, getting this weird honey yeast taste, and just oof. But the clay was good. The Tired Hands beer was really good, and it kind of saved half of my drinking experience tonight. So can't say enough good things about Tired Hands. We'll continue to talk a bunch of mad shit on Mad Elf.
And like I told Doug on the side, man, with all due respect to a lot of our guests, you're a person that I've tried to get on Friday a lot. I'd love to have you back on more than we
Absolutely.
have you. Again, it's great having you. And of course, the more Tired Hands you send me, the more I'm going to love you. But
I'm a little disappointed I've got no Tired Hands here.
Oh,
all right, Doug, hit me up on hit me up on Facebook after this. We'll set something up. I'll get you some Tired Hands.
I'll gladly send you a whole bunch of shit from my area.
Okay.
Like I said, the North Brewery has a shit ton of stouts. That's what they're known for. So I got a bunch of stuff to send you there. Another brewery that's specialty in IPAs. So I got things to send.
Yeah, hit me up, man. We'll work something out.
Yep.
With that being said, we got to let you guys go, or we'll be here another 3 hours.
Guys, thanks so much. I know you had to Thanks for being
here. We do some post production, so if you guys want to hang around. If not, that's cool. But again, thank you for joining us for this Mad Elf. We'd love to have you next year. We can do this again.
Hey, can I make a suggestion? Next year we pick a different.
This is your style, so you can make anything you want.
No, I think maybe we pick a different. Mad Elf, we've done 2 years in a row. Let's do something different. Let's do something when post production where we figure out a different beer. I have some ideas.
Like half of us hate and half of us love.
Right. It has to be polarizing, though, Doug. It's only good if it's polarizing. If we all like it, then it'll talk.
I have some ideas.
Sam Adams Winter Lager. Go.
Trying to get that. Is that shit any good or not?
Go. All at the same time.
Dude, you see that Sam Adams stock? It's over 1,000, man. They're doing something right over there. That's all I got.
Selling out.
Include old
That's what they're doing right.
This case is and I am fucking furious because that's
Clark, do you know the real answer though? The real answer is Truly. That's the answer.
Yeah, that's the real They've been making a kick on Truly. Truly has been doing better than White Claw.
Truly is the answer. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no other. I've looked into this, man. My kids and I did some stock market. Long story short, we did some stock market game where we did stock markets on paper. And this was 3 years ago. This is when Boston Beer Company was $72 or something silly like that. Now these motherfuckers are over 1,000. And it's not because they grabbed Dogfish Head. It's because of Truly. And the problem with Truly is, I'm sorry, here we go again. Truly sucks. Yep. I've had it on the show. It's just not good. It's just not. And I've had good seltzers. I don't know if you guys have had them. I've had seltzers that I was like, man, this is pretty good product. Meaning, it wasn't beer, and I'm not expecting seltzer to be beer, but I want it to be like refreshing and something that, like, you know, you can get something out of, like a beer. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I've had some local ones from local breweries that are just fantastic. I've had some local ones from local breweries that sucked and truly sucked. That's just my opinion.
Do you know what the difference is?
It's what?
It's funny.
The good seltzers and the bad ones?
Yes. I have a friend.
Oh, I don't know.
I have a friend who's into like the keto diet, right?
Okay.
So they're trying to limit the amount of carbs.
Correct.
All of the flavor apparently comes from the seltzers that have 7 to 10 carbs in them. Truly, White Claw, they're all under 5. So you're not getting any sort of flavor. I've had ones from Levante, which is a place that we went. Do you remember Levante? They have a whole line of hard seltzers that are 7 to 8.
Yeah.
Look, seltzer's not my thing. I've had a bunch of them. They're the best. 100%. They're the best around. But I've had White Claw. I've tried them. I don't get them. But the difference is Levante makes it with love, which means it's going to be a little worse for you, like home cooking. You make it with a little love, it's going to be a little worse for you. But then you get the artificial nonsense.
Right.
You get the carbs down. You get worse taste. And fucking basic people love all that shit. I don't know what's. I don't get it.
Patty and the pumpkin pie and
All right, fellas, we'll talk to you next year. Doug has an idea about doing a different format. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll do both formats. Maybe, who knows? We'll see. But thank you for coming on. Love you both. Cheers.
Love you.
Cheers.
And happy.
What was that, Kevin?
Have a happy New Year.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, for sure.
You're hitting us early with that, but
Yeah, I want to be the first.
Cheers, Kevin.
Cheers, Kevin. Thank you.
So, always a fun show, Doug. I'm grabbing here and I don't have anything left. Well, actually, I do have something left, which is that half. I'm on this half Matt Elf thing. So, you wanna talk about what you had, sir?
Yeah,
we can get out of here.
I'm gonna surprise you that the year age Mad Elf was the worst thing I had. It was. The problem is I did this before. I aged it for a year, and it was like all the cherries came to the front, so I made it super like. I don't think Mad Elf is medicinal, but when you age it for a year, for me, it tastes medicinal. It's all cherries, no honey, just cherries up in your face, but not like, oh, good, I'm going to have some fresh cherries. It's not like that at all. It's medicinal. So that was my least favorite. My second least favorite was the Grand Cru, just because I am not a sour fan, but I'm going to tell you, Greg, I think you would actually really enjoy this more than regular Mad Elf.
I like Grand Crus. If they're made good, I'm down for sure.
Yeah. So the cherries are there, but it's not just fucking pounding you in the head. Like with Mad Elf is like, that's
right.
Some people will see that's how it is. I don't see it that way. I think the fresh was my favorite because the honey was.
This year's Mad Elf?
Yeah, this year's Mad Elf, the fresh one, was honey forward. Cherries are there, but not like just fucking pounding your face. I agree with Matt and Kevin that yeasty stuff was way more forward this year. It was not as good as last year's fresh. I agree with that. Totally. But the 3 Mad Elf styles I had I should have gotten the Wild Elf instead of the Grand Cru because I knew the Grand Cru was something I wouldn't enjoy.
Wait. What's Wild Elf?
Wild Elf is something that is their they use wild yeast in it. So it's like Brettanomyces. I'm not right. So basically let that ferment in it.
Sour too, though, then.
Yeah, it is a sour. I probably would have liked that more than the Grand Cru, personally. So that was my assessment.
Gotcha. Cool. So a couple let's roll up on a couple of these comments here before we jump out, because they keep coming in, man. We've been comment central the last. Woo! We've built up to this. So this is Alex, I believe. My buddy makes the Long Mountain seltzers. They're the only ones I consider drinkable, so he's agreeing with Matt. And yeah, Matt made a great point about these seltzers. I need to look at that more, because the seltzers I don't like, and I don't know about you, Doug, the seltzers I don't like are the ones with no flavor. Like, give me some flavor. Like, why am I drinking this if I don't get hold on. Why am I drinking this if I don't get any flavor? And I'm sorry, what did you say?
I don't like seltzer flavored. Like, if you're like, here's seltzer water and with flavor, I don't like any of that stuff.
Right.
Me personally.
Alex says that it's good to hear from someone else, because he thought it was biased because he knows the guy at Levante. So yeah. Beer Day says I will not be drinking any Mount based on tonight's tastings. Beer Days, if you have a chance to try it, brother. I don't know if it's your speed. If you're not, if you're gonna have to buy a 6-liter of it, I'm not sure if it's your speed. But if you can get it, yeah. If you could try Beer Days, try it. Like, it's not. I don't want to push my opinion on anybody else. I know neither does Kevin and Matt. So they want you to try it for sure. Everybody try it, but
try.
But Beer Days is out by me, so he's got to either, someone has to send it to him, or he's got to travel somewhere. Cheers, gents. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for all you bring.
Thanks everybody for just tuning in and just commenting and just being involved.
Yeah. So look, Beer Days is like, I will for you, man. Yeah, Beer Days. Man, if you get a chance to try it. I definitely, for me personally, I wouldn't go out of my way to try it, but I've already had it. So like, I just don't want to shut anybody out on that. So next week we have, I don't even know who we have. You know who we have. Yes.
I booked.
Yes, talk about it.
Ariana Bradford. Not your average mom. This is fun. We had her booked before, but unfortunately at the time she was in the middle of the California wildfires and we had to reschedule her.
Sure. To be technical, I'm not wrong. It was Oregon, right?
No, California. Was it Oregon? I think it was California.
Oh, okay, yeah. When basically the West, sorry with all the when the West Coast was on fire, and it was Oregon, and California too. So I didn't know which one it was, but yeah, we had it scheduled and that was it, and we're just like, I think she almost had to evacuate the day that we had her on.
Evacuate the day or the day before, I can't remember which.
Right.
She wasn't at her house, and we're like, hey, that's fine. Just make sure you're safe. So,
correct.
Having her, I am stoked to have her on. If you do not follow her on Twitter, I'm telling you, do it. You will laugh your ass off.
Say it again. Who is she?
Not Your Average Mom Project. So I think it's at NYAM Project.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, you'll giggle your ass off because she's hilarious. So it's going to be fucking great. Yes.
And Doug likes to, I love the book. I love the guests that Doug books. So it's definitely going to be fun. You guys seen a bunch of guests that Doug has booked. And we've had a whole bunch of fun. So it's going to be great.
For sure.
Any last words, Doug?
No, thanks everybody for commenting, being part of this. I don't know how to explain just how appreciative I am to have everybody just being involved. It's fun, and it's something that we can all kind of just be like, we're in the middle of this freaking shit show, so let's just go drink some beers and have fun. And it's great, and I really appreciate everybody.
Doug, how are we at like the worst part of this shit show now? Like, we thought we were at the worst part.
We're going into some shit.
But how is it? We'll talk about it next week. Doug, I love you. I'll see you soon.
Love you too, man.